Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Tacoma Cyclist. I am the Tacoma Cyclist, and I'm here by myself today, again. Kind of normal while I'm doing the vlog. Don't worry, the boogeyman will return in future videos. Today, I'm kind of giving a third week update to the vlog and where my status is with regards to that. So the first full week was relatively challenging. The second full week was incredibly challenging because I started to get really tired towards the end of the second week. And I'm now into the beginning part of the third week. So the third week, if you recall my awesome graphics, put you back here. My third week, this is where I am right here. Yeah, 10 out of 10 today. This is my Tuesday of my third week, which means it's going to be my hardest workout day yet. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I'm going to do an exercise similar to what I had done on the first week, only I'm going to do longer blocks of it. So my first week was 6 minutes on FTP, 3 minutes rest, 5 times. So for a total time, I was at my FTP for 30 minutes. Today's workout is 5 times, 8 minutes at my FTP, 4 minutes off. So it's always a 2-to-1 ratio, 8 on, 4 off, 2-to-1. So it's 40 minutes at my FTP over the course of an hour, which in theory should be quite doable since that's my FTP. But I can tell you that gets tiring. It just gets really, really tiring by the end. So we'll see how well I'm able to make it through that. Overall, it's about 120 TSS for an hour and a half, which is definitely up there with regards to intensity. It's a little over 120 actually. So it's going to be a tough workout. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I've got a couple quick updates. Like I said, that's going well. My legs are feeling kind of fatigued, and I'm really looking forward to the rest week next week. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, well, 2 things. Number one is my weight throughout this process. I had mentioned that I wanted to lose a few kilograms. I was at 66.6 kilograms at the start of the challenge, and I really haven't fluctuated very much. I'm still right around the same weight. And I'm not worried about that, actually. I'm not worried about that at all, in fact. When I try to do weight loss with cycling, it always takes some time as I ramp up my intensity and my overall volume to see the weight decrease. And then, of course, you've got to be careful, too, because you're increasing intensity, increasing volume. If I decrease my caloric intake significantly and I get that formula mixed up, then I could find myself crashing and bonking really hard from not enough nutrition. So I'm working on dialing that in, and my weight hasn't really fluctuated that much. Now, the other thing I want to talk about today is my coffee setup. And that's because I've had a few people in comments, as well as by sending me emails and Facebook messages saying, dude, I love your coffee setup, tell us more about it. And I'd love to. I think coffee and cycling go hand in hand. I know it seems like beer drinking and cycling go hand in hand, and that's great. I love myself a beer every once in a while, but I think responsible coffee drinking is a little bit easier than responsible beer drinking. So yeah, come with me and I'll show you my coffee setup and why it is that I have it, why it's so crazy over the top, and why you should have a setup like this too. Maybe not this crazy over the top, but I bet you it's actually worth it in the long run. Okay, so first of all, thanks to everyone who's asked about this, because I love coffee. I can't get enough coffee. Well, that's not true, actually. I can get plenty of coffee. But I love the art of making coffee. And why I think that it appeals so much to folks like us, like roadies, is this is one of those things where you can obsess. Just like you do over your road bike, you can obsess over this too. And marginal gains don't just exist in cycling, but they also exist here. And you can directly see and taste and feel the impact of those marginal gains. So this is my coffee setup. I'll talk you through the whole thing very quickly. And I'll make a quick cup of coffee. I'll make an espresso particularly. Something that's kind of between a cappuccino and a latte. There is a difference. If you're going to a cafe, by the way, and the cafe has cappuccinos in 8, 12, 16, 20 ounces. Run. Don't go to that cafe, okay? They don't know what a cappuccino is. They don't know what coffee is. Run. Cappuccino is available in one size, and it depends on where, but it's either 6 ounces or 8 ounces. Usually 8 ounces because it's hard to find a 6-ounce cup in America. But in any case, I'll talk you through what I got here, and I'll make a cup of coffee. I'll try some latte art. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Of course, I'll be on camera, so I'll totally mess it up. But yeah, let's go. Okay, so my machine itself is a Rocket Espresso Cellini, these are very well favored in the cycling community, probably because A, they're Italian, B, a lot of pro cycling teams use them, C, they just work. They work really, really well. They're very robust. This is a very nice home machine. This is what's called a heat exchange unit. It doesn't have 2 boilers. It's got a single boiler in it. You could go for the double boiler Rocket, but you don't have to. I've found that with a little bit of care and maybe an extra 5 seconds of attention while brewing, you can get just as good results. This machine is plumbed, so this is my refrigerator right here. I've got the water line coming from the refrigerator in, so I don't have to worry about filling and so on. It always fills. I do have to empty my own drip tray. I don't have that plumbed. So that's my machine. My grinder is a Eureka. This is specifically their Atom Specialty 75. This is actually a brand new addition to my kitchen, to my coffee setup. I'm replacing an older grinder, which is perfectly fine, but this thing has massive 75 millimeter or 3-inch burrs, and it can quietly grind what I need in literally 2.45 seconds. In addition to those things, of course, I've got a variety of portafilters. This one was a custom portafilter. It's starting to show its age a little bit because I use it all the time. This is a double portafilter, so I'll get a double shot out of that. I have bottomless portafilters that are triple. I don't use this as much, but I use it to check to see if I am doing my coffee right. You can't hide with one of these. If you use a bottomless portafilter and you mess up your grind or you mess up your settings, you'll know it real fast because you'll have a huge mess. I've got a single, but I so don't use the single that I've actually got my cleaning basket in there instead. So I clean my machine about once every week, maybe once every 2 weeks, and I just keep that basket in the single because ain't nobody got time to drink single shots. Why would you do that? That's just stupid. All right, then I got my tampers. This one's junk. It looks cool probably because, you know, the walnut handle, but it's kind of junk. The tamper that came with the machine, not bad, you know, solid aluminum. It's pretty decent. I don't really ever use it. My old standby, trusty custom made special plate and everything. And then this is one that the Boogeyman got me for Christmas, and this thing is just a straight up weapon. Weight wise, it's literally over a pound in this tiny little package. I do in fact weigh my shots before I pull them. Some people weigh them after or while they're shooting them too, you know, so you can check the amount of beans in versus the amount of espresso out. Sometimes I do that, but it's more just to check to see where I am. All right, and then of course mugs. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because this is one of 2 that I actually got in Venice when the Boogeyman and I were in Italy to check out the Giro. So kind of a special mug. I keep it up here because the heat from the machine makes the mugs warm, and why not have a warm shot? Okay, so let me go ahead and pull a shot here. So what I'm going to do, make sure my portafilter basket is dry. When it's sitting in here, it's getting hot, but it's also getting a little moist. So I want to weigh this. By the way, I just use that for my bike parts scale too. I clean it, I don't let grease get in touch with it. All right. I'm going for 18 grams here, 17.9. I'll take it. This new grinder is unbelievable. You want to distribute those grounds as evenly as possible. Nice smooth puck. Now, why do I have an instant read thermometer here? I really want my water be around 200 degrees. And with a heat exchanger unit like this, the water will come out a little hotter than 200 degrees if you don't blow off some of that excess water. Because of the amount of pressure in here, this water actually sits at around 230 degrees, which I know sounds crazy, but it's pressurized. And when you pressurize water, it can come out very, very hot. All right, I've moved in close here so you can see the actual shot being pulled. And I have my trusty pitcher here for steaming my milk. I've got a variety of pitchers for a variety of reasons. This is a big boy. This is for really big shots, but actually, honestly, this is for making hot cocoa with me and the boogeyman. This one, I just think it looks cool. Plus it's got a divot in here, which forces the milk out in a way that helps to make latte art. This is similar in size to the same pitcher here, and it's got a angled spout, again, to help you pour that out. This one, another big pitcher. This is good for large lattes, 16 ounce, or hot cocos. I typically don't use this very often, but if I do, it's for hot cocoa. And the reason that it's shaped the way it is and has that divot in the bottom, it helps you to swirl the foam in, again, for latte art. And then this is this is just a pretty standard, basic pitcher, like what you would get at the regular store. Okay. I want to time my shot for about 30 total seconds. That should be about 5 seconds for the coffee to hit. All right, it looks like my beans are getting old enough that I need to change the grind setting a touch. This is going to be a strong cup of coffee because I pulled a little extra. I did not get good latte art. I'm not even going to show you because number one, I would spill it. And number two, it looks like crap. But sometimes I do get good latte art. Other times I do not. We'll just say that it sucked because I was on camera. It's always important to clean out the machine when you're done. Just like your bike, taking care of these things will pay dividends. You don't want to have to get this guy into the shop for repairs and then be without a coffee setup for weeks at a time. Okay, so why in the world did I invest in a coffee setup this robust? It's pretty much just me and the boogeyman. Well, it's actually really simple. I hate Starbucks. Sorry. They're fine for some things, but coffee is not what they're good at. Sorry. And even living here in the Northwest, I will say Seattle-based Starbucks taste better than Starbucks in other places, but they're still Starbucks. We have tons of coffee shops around here, and those are great, but if you're wanting a cup of coffee in the morning, maybe prior to work, and you decide you want to go to a coffee shop to get it, you're taking a 20 to 30 minute detour, and that's a commitment. That's good coffee. So, investing in a home setup saves me time, and I value my time. In addition to that, every time I'd go to get a latte or a cappuccino, I'd spend $4 or $5, and then a tip. And that was every day. So that's $28 a week. And then that's, over $1,000 a year. I mean, yeah, this isn't cheap, but it has certainly paid for itself. Now, anybody that's tried to make the argument, well, I'll get a commuter bike and I'll just ride the bike back and forth and that'll save me money over a car. As soon as you start buying all the crap that has to go with it and all the maintenance and all that stuff, you realize really fast that it's not a linear thing. You don't save the money right off the bat. Same thing goes with this. soon as you buy the espresso machine, you're like, oh, I got to get a good grinder. Ooh, I got to work on cleaning it. I got to get good beans. I got to get all this stuff. And it winds up not being a linear savings, but you do save money. And then frankly, here's the other thing. You'd go to a coffee shop and sometimes they have a great latte. And then other times they have a crap latte. And you paid the same amount whether it was good or bad. And here, if I fix myself a bad latte, I got a couple things I can do. I can drink it, I can dump it and make another one. But I can certainly learn from my mistakes and focus on making a better latte in the future. So, to me, it was an investment, a worthwhile investment, and I'd rather spend the money on this than on booze. So, that's where I am. So that's my coffee setup. Thanks for you all that asked. I appreciate that. I know it's silly to have a cycling video about coffee. I could certainly go into more details about all of the shenanigans that I go through to get the perfect pour, but it's just like setting up your bike. I mean, nobody really wants to watch a video on the finest little details on what you do to set up your bike. You don't really want to watch the finest details on me setting up my coffee. There are plenty of videos on YouTube for that. But I will tell you, I obsess over this the same way I obsess over my bike. I like to keep it as clean and as maintained as I do my bike. I like to focus on those marginal gains like I do on my bike. And at the end, I get to taste the deliciousness that is this coffee. So there you go. That's my coffee setup. I'd love to see videos to your coffee setup or maybe photos or descriptions. So put some stuff down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it because I geek out about this kind of stuff. If you have questions about any of the stuff I've got here, happy to answer those too. This is kind of a departure from my channel, but hey, it is what it is. So thanks for stopping by and checking out this rather weird video. But hopefully those of you that wanted it, enjoyed it, and those of you that didn't like it, hang around for other stuff. I'll have other stuff on my channel too. So again, thanks, and we will see you again soon. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you haven't already. See you later.